Also happening today, Ohio is now the 17th state with a patient who became blind after using artificial tears that are now recalled.
Yeah, you may remember we first brought you this story a few months ago. Now we have learned that a patient from Northeast Ohio actually received treatment at university hospitals late last year. Doctors just didn't know exactly what they were dealing with. Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins joining us now on the What's New set. Monica, good afternoon to you. This is somewhat scary. I mean, we all use eye drops for various reasons. What do we know about this?
Yeah, this is very scary. So the woman had been using the over-the-counter EzriCare artificial tears that were recalled in February, except she was using them late last year when she realized she was losing vision in her left eye. It took about a week. She went to the emergency room at university hospitals where doctors tried to treat the bacterial infection but realized they were dealing with a drug-resistant bug. It's called Pseudomonas aeruginosa. The FDA says it's linked to artificial tears made in India. The brands are EzriCare and Delsam Phama. Those have been recalled. 69 patients now have been impacted. Some have lost vision, some have lost their actual eye, and 3 people have died. The UH doctors just published their findings in JAMA Ophthalmology. Here's what the patient came in with.
She started to notice loss of vision in that eye. Eventually got to the point where the eye itself changed appearance. The husband started to notice this. She had some drainage coming from the eye, and that's when she decided to come into the emergency department. And that's when we saw her initially. So most of the times people will experience pain. They will notice that the eye is red and injected. They might start noticing, loss of vision.
Now, at first, doctors didn't correlate the infection to the eye drops, but they thought to test everything she was using, and that's when they realized they were dealing with the Pseudomonas. They reported their findings to the Ohio Department of Health and CDC, and just this week were informed that the case is definitely part of this outbreak. Now, the bacteria is waterborne. If you've ever had swimmer's ear, you've experienced what it's like. But over time, when we're dealing with the eye, it eats away at the cornea and infects the eye. But in the immunocompromised, it can actually enter the bloodstream and cause sepsis or blood poisoning and be deadly. The issue is that this particular strain is resistant to antibiotics. So they had to do a lot of figuring out. They had to give her IV medication to get her treated. So the bacteria is out of her system, but unfortunately, she's now added to this list of people. And, it happened late last year. There's a good chance she may have been one of the first cases.
Yeah, doctors didn't even know what they were looking for at that time.
Yeah, they thought this case was a complete fluke, that it just so happened. They didn't even expect to find anything in her eye drops until they sent them to the lab, and then they saw that what they were dealing with.
I know you said those products have been recalled, but look in your medicine cabinets. If you have those 2 brands, and we'll have it up on our website, throw them out.
Absolutely.
All right, Monica, thanks.
Sure.